Welcome to the 2026 Play for K, benefiting the K Out Cancer Fund in partnership with the WBCA and the V Foundation. The 21st year here at Reynolds Coliseum. The fans ready to make some noise because Carolina is in town, and tonight we get to celebrate the legacy of K-Yow on and off the court. Welcome to Big Monday on ESPN, and welcome to the ACC on ESPN. It is the one and only time they meet this year on the court. NC State hosting newly minted number 25 North Carolina. They've won 4 in a row and they've moved into the top 25 as we celebrate the fighting spirit of Coach K-Yow, her team wearing some of her words of wisdom in her 22-year fight against cancer. And we celebrate tonight with so many survivors assisted by Coach Yow. The ACC big showdown on Thursday night between Duke and Louisville in Kentucky. And of course, you want to finish in the top 5 with just 7 or 8 games left in the regular season because those teams get a double bye and they have the best shot at winning the ACC tournament title. Hey everyone, and welcome courtside here at K-Yow Court in Reynolds Coliseum. I'm Beth Mowens, alongside the former Wolfpacker and Naismith Hall of Famer Debbie Antonelli. Always a special night to honor the legacy of K-Yow and the cancer survivors.
Look, there's a big game here. 2 rivals, they don't really like each other. There's a lot of emotion in the building, but this is exactly the platform that Coach Yow would have wanted, a place to use the game to celebrate an incredible cause behind the K-Yow Cancer Fund. And you're right, she got a big assist tonight because there's a lot of people that have benefited from her battle.
And this was one of her favorite games on the schedule whenever Carolina came to town. Really good balance for both clubs coming in. Good score inside and out tonight for NC State.
Well, NC State's got multiple ways that they can hurt you. Zoe Brooks is on a tear right now. The last 2 games, she's averaged 32 points, and she is getting it off the bounce in the mid-range. She's getting to the free throw line, and she's facilitating the offense like a leader would with the ball in their hands. Camille Pierre is a walking double-double. She's going to put up big numbers, but she's got an advantage tonight. She's got quickness, and she's got speed against the front line of North Carolina.
There are their season numbers. Not big-time scorers for North Carolina, but very solid and well-balanced throughout their starting 5.
I think this is the strength of their team, Beth. They have multiple ways they can win, and they're led behind the emerging play of Renaya Kelly. In the last 5 games, 13 points a game, but you see the North Carolina balance. There's a lot of weapons for Courtney Banghart, the head coach, to go to in certain situations in the game.
Big night for Carolina because they do not yet have a quad 1 win on their NCAA tournament resume. They can get one here in hostile territory tonight. Both these clubs projected right now on the NCAA host bubble with 1 month to prove they are worthy of a top 16 seed. Carolina Blues and NC State Whites both with a shade of pink tonight, and the pull-up J is good for Renaya Kelly.
Middle ball screen, and you can't get clipped by the screen. Zoe Brooks runs right into the North Carolina screen.
On paper, looks like a size advantage with Pierre and Trieger inside. Jones and Brooks outstanding on the perimeter, and there's a touch right away for the 6'3" Swede.
Trieger coming off a 25-point game in a win where NC State scored 106 points against Boston College.
Off the bounce, Sierra Toomey scoops that up and in.
Well, both these coaches like to script the first couple of sets. And North Carolina 2 for 2 on their scripts.
Working it inside, getting a touch for Pierre. One of just 5 Power 5 players averaging a double-double, and she gets points and a rebound on that trip. Off the bounce, Lainey Grant, and 1.
What a take by Lainey Grant, known as a catch and shoot. Really good right here. NC State trying to run North Carolina off the 3-point line. Lainey Grant squares her shoulders to the backboard, absorbs the contact that way, protects the ball so she can still get it up on the glass for an and 1.
Usually the threes are from outside the arc. She'll try the old-fashioned one here.
Both these teams average, Beth, about 20 points in their fast break game, but I don't expect there to be very many fast break opportunities. It's going to be a slugfest, possession for possession.
Something to put away for later if it comes down to the fourth quarter. North Carolina, after that missed free throw, they are a very poor free throw shooting team.
Which means you better be ready to rebound.
They're going to have to clean that up tonight. Samuels saved it, but it's right to the Tar Heels. And Kelly will run with India Navarre, and immediately Toomey gets another touch and a bucket.
Toomey doing a great job going rim to rim, getting deep position and burying Trieger in the rim. Good pass by Navarre.
6'4" sophomore from Pennsylvania, coached by her mom, Carrie, in her younger days.
She's a pretty good golfer, too. 280 off the tee and a 6 or 7 handicap. I got her on my team this spring, just so you know.
Shot clock winding down. Pierre, 16-footer no. And Nyla Harris, the senior transfer from Louisville, has the rebound. Top of the key, Jay is good from Harris. Last 5 games seeing more minutes and more production, Debbie.
You can't come on the road in an environment like this and start the game any better than North Carolina has. 5 for 5 from the floor.
Scored every time they've had it. And NC State down in front of their student section in this first half. Nearly turn it over. They're going to have to hustle to get a shot up. Zoe Brooks.
You look over at Westmore, he's just shaking his head like, busted play, you better hope it lands in Zoe Brooks' hands. What a play.
Brooks and Jones both with the ability to clean up mistakes late in shot clocks. And there's the first miss of the game for North Carolina. Samuels off the window on the run.
I expect this game to be played just like this. 2 really good teams executing at a very high level. You work the emotions out through the first sweat, Beth, and then you make some adjustments.
Kelly, pull up. Samuels with the rebound. NC State a chance to tie or take the lead. Brooks off the bounce, works it inside and gets the roll.
I mean, she's going to score off the bounce. Your job is to keep her in front and not let her turn a corner. That's why you go under all ball screen actions on her.
Navarre gets the handoff right back and the drive and lay-in.
North Carolina has shooters in the corner, but I would pinch and come with a long closeout on them and make them put it on the ground. You got to help in the middle.
What nerves? Both sides putting on a show early. Sam Jones for 3.
And this crowd's just getting started, just so you know.
We talked about the balance in the open, Debbie. All 5 starters have already scored for Carolina. And all 5 for NC State.
That's amazing. I can't remember I've seen that in a women's game before. Or a men's game, for that matter.
That one barely caught iron from Brooks.
So if you move the ball, North Carolina, who likes to play in the gaps, can get spread out, but you got to move the ball.
Kelly creates some space. Off the mark, but you can see her confidence has returned. Much more productive of late. Pierre, patient with the bounce. Goes baseline, off glass.
There's the speed and quickness factor I referenced at the beginning. In an ISO, one-on-one, North Carolina might have trouble guarding that matchup.
Grant will attack the rim again, bothered by Trieger. And a foul on North Carolina underneath. How about both sides shooting 60% to open up?
We'll take it. Good read of the ball screen. Navarre to the hole with a bucket. And then Zam Jones pulls it from three.
Well, 13 different teams with similar paths for both Carolina and State. Preseason high expectations, but they hit some rough patches on the road through December and January. Tough schedules on both sides. Now they're coming out the other end. Their losses have all been to highly ranked opponents for the most part, and that's why this is so big tonight. Pad that resume, and especially for Carolina, looking for their first Quad 1 win. Both offenses hot to start out. A combined 13 baskets from 10 different players already.
We'll take it. Shoot till your arm falls off as a collective group. And I always say, the product is the narrative. We're seeing it on display right in front of us. It's great.
NC State has won 5 straight here at home. They split last year. Carolina winning in Chapel Hill, and then NC State winning in the ACC tournament. State made it all the way to the finals, fell to Duke in the championship after State shared the regular season title last year. Here is Trieger stepping away, offensive rebound, Samuels with the putback. It is a 13-2 State run.
See how NC State moved the ball that time? They got a wide open look, and it allows Samuels to crash from the weak side because she knew Trieger was going to take that shot.
Trying to keep Kelly on the left side of the floor there. Instead, it's Toomey. Hardly touched iron.
So Trieger in a little bit of drop coverage, and North Carolina goes to a middle ball screen with Toomey, who does have the ability to pop.
Here, quick shot, and Trieger has the rebound. Kicked out of bounds.
When you move the ball coming off the timeout, you get a wide open look, which NC State does, and then look at Samuels rise from the weak side. Great rebound, uses the bounce to collect herself, and then finishes in the paint.
On the inbound, it's Zam Jones.
We got 2 really good matchups out here, Beth. Renaya Kelly on Zam Jones, and India Navarre on Zoe Brooks.
Pick and the roll. And Navarre with the rebound, the senior from nearby Apex, North Carolina. Look at the big girl running the floor. Knocked loose by Jones.
You got to sprint back in transition is what Wes Moore is telling his team. It looked to me like they were jogging. I mean, you got to sprint. Just running the floor hard can create separation on the top of the floor. North Carolina's guards can make a play off the bounce in the middle third.
Substitutions for Carolina. Nyla Brooks, Elena Arnesalo. And there's a bucket for Harris. For the Tar Heels. Trieger off the bounce, short.
Good defense by Toomey.
Arnesalo, she's the transfer from UCLA. 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. And it's NC State ball. Now look at what's at stake here for Carolina. Their first win on KYAU court since 2019. They upset an undefeated NC State team, the last unbeaten of that season, men's or women's. A huge win for them.
So you mentioned this earlier, that this is a quad 1 for both teams, which is a part of the net. If North Carolina wins the game, they will stay a 6. If NC State wins, they're a 6 right now. They could move up to a 5.
That's Charlie Cream's latest bracketology, which he'll update again tomorrow on ESPN.com. jewelry that's been around for 51 years, starting in 1975. The 122nd meeting between these two. Slight advantage for the Wolfpack. Here's Brooks, the freshman, off the mark.
Now Brooks in her last 7 is 2 for 20 from the three-point line coming into the game.
Samuels quick, right in front of the Carolina bench for 3.
2 for 1 here for North Carolina. Renaya Kelly recognized it.
Kelly, nice stutter up top. That one's off the mark. Renaya now 1 for 4. And about a 4-second difference shot and game clock here for State.
So Zoe Brooks really good in the mid-range on the left side of the floor. Excuse me, on the right side. Sam Jones is really good on the left side. NC State's going to their horns right here with 2 bigs on the elbows.
Brooks crosses over to the left side, bothered on the shot. Good defense from Quiros, and here she comes the other way, trying to beat the buzzer. Brooks, 3, and it falls away. 20-14, NC State with the first quarter lead on this Play for K night, and a very special one indeed for Tilda Trieger and her Aunt Maria.
My aunt had breast cancer about 10 years ago. She had to do surgeries and all this stuff, but she got through it as a strong mom and a strong person. It means so much to my aunt to walk in the survival celebration. Actually, she don't know it yet, so it's a surprise for her, and she's gonna be so happy knowing she's gonna go out there and actually be seen for what she's been going through. And I will play for her, and she will go out in the halftime, and I think it's just amazing.
And during the timeout, Tilda's parents, Ulrika and Paul, told Maria that she would be making the walk with the cancer survivors at halftime today. Made the trip all the way from Sweden to be a part of this Play for K night. And that is coming up at halftime. We will stay here and cover that live. The celebration of cancer survivors. I think one woman in the house tonight, Debbie, 56 years a cancer survivor, and so many women that we'll see tonight. An assist from Kay Yao and the Kay Yao Foundation. (20-14), NC State with the lead over Carolina as we open up this second quarter. And a nice assist, Arnasalo to Quiros for the bucket. A 16-4 run for NC State ended that first quarter after a hot start from the Tar Heels.
Maddie Cox in the game, who allows them to play a little bit smaller.
Kaishi Lunin also out there right here with the ball for State. The fade off glass.
She's not quite Isaiah James yet, so I'm not going to put that on her, but she is going to be a player similar to that. NC State's Isaiah James and Sanaya Rivers last year, 2 first-round draft picks in the WNBA. And Isaiah waited her time.
Well, the feet underneath are going to wipe that away, and a foul up top. I believe on the screen.
Watch this footwork by Kaishi Lunin. Fake, gets her defender in the air, off the glass. Well done by the lefty.
And they called the foul out top on Arnasalo. That was a tough break for Carolina. Kelly had an easy look inside. Pierre
Clear out for Pierre.
Harris defending, and Pierre going to work, and it falls.
If Camille Pierre makes up her mind, and by the emotion of her going back down the floor, it looks like she gets it tonight.
4th in the ACC in scoring. 6th in the country in double-doubles, including in 5 of her last 6 games. Lunin attacks. May have gotten away with an extra step right there, and then Samuel's able to knock it off of a Tar Heel.
Camille Pierre one-on-one is a challenge. Her quickness, her speed, her athleticism. That is a tough matchup one-on-one for North Carolina, and on most nights tough for most in the ACC.
Jones caught in the corner. Pierre on the rebound for Toomey. Here come the Tar Heels. Back out top for Kelly to reset. Two arrows. The drive and dish to India Navarre for three.
The scout on India Navarre is you let her take that shot until she makes a couple.
That's their first triple of the game. That's going to be a travel on Pierre.
So you typically don't help off the strong side corner right here, but Kai-Shi Lunin steps in to help. And it's not a bad thing to do on the scout. It's the way you would guard Navarre. Now you stay with that until you see if she hits another one, because India Navarre has only made 16 threes coming into the game.
First 5 games of the ACC, NC State defended the three well, but the last 5 games, opponents shooting 40%, and they've made twice as many threes in the last 5 as they did in the first 5 in the league. Kelly, hard off the back iron.
Renaya Kelly is getting to her spots on the floor, though. She just hasn't made them.
Now 1 for 5 to start. Samuels, the UConn transfer, airs that out. Navarre attacks. Aggressive to the rim for India.
That's her game. Courtney Banghart doesn't have to run a play for her. She can score off their transition, off her own defense. She's one of the top defenders in the league.
Coach Banger talked to us this week about India being a creator and being a finisher at the rim. She was both right there. That's going to be a reach-in foul on Navarre, who's one of the best defenders in the ACC.
India Navarre in the offseason worked on her handle, which allows her to be able to get in the paint and make this move. A little in-out move with her offhand. Beautifully done.
The numbers for India, career year for her. Rattled in and down.
That one might have been for Anne Marie.
Traeger for 3. State will look to push. Can she do it again? Maddie Cox gets in the lane. The straight up bank shot.
Maddie Cox has the ability to bring the crowd to another level. She's a fan favorite in here.
She was looking for a foul. Loon trying to D her up. Navarre attacks, and this time will get the whistle.
NC State thought that was offensive initiated contact. Look at Tilda spotting up for triples. All 6'6" of her, and Cox to the logo. Not to over-penetrate off the glass. I think India Navarre did a really good job buying that foul, didn't she?
India Navarre,
tough competitor.
Get a couple of free throws. Just a 54% shooter, however.
So you got to be ready to rebound.
Hey, coming up next, the second game of our doubleheader. Number 3, South Carolina will be in Aggieland to take on Texas A&M. Joyce Edwards leading the way. Joyce on the short list for SEC Player of the Year honors, probably with Michaela Blakes, Madison Booker, to name a couple others. But that South Carolina team trying to get it revved up for a big finish.
Joyce Edwards' playmaking ability has increased and improved so much. Dawn Staley's given her the freedom to make plays, and she can make them. She's good.
That's going to be a fun race to watch atop the Southeastern Conference. And that's going to be a blocking foul called on Grant. 29-22, under 5 to go in the first half.
NC State's balance on display early. Zam Jones pulls it from 3. The no look to Q Samuels. And then it's Pierre in the one-on-one with space to operate. Zoe Brooks setting up Tilda Trieger, the 6'6" center for a triple, and then Maddie Cox off the bench, giving the Wolfpack a bucket from the logo in the paint.
NC State shooting 50% and owning the glass thus far. It's a 29-22 lead as they break the huddle.
So NC State only forcing 1 turnover for North Carolina, and Westmore has been on them about their defense. So they showed very little resistance, and North Carolina has missed some shots. And North Carolina is a good offensive team, so you have to keep the heat on them.
Yeah, the last 4 games, they've allowed 81 points per game. Not what he's looking for defensively. Down on the deck, Brooks keeps the ball alive. They got a launch. And it's a shot clock violation.
If that had gone in, that would have been a legendary moment in the history of this series. India Navarre shooting the gap. See, that's how she impacts the game. She's not going to take a play off number 24 in blue.
Kelly weaving her way inside. Taken away by NC State, and out in front is Pierre with the jump stop and the layup. 8 points, 8 rebounds already for Camille. 9 points, State lead.
Again, Zoe Brooks gets run into the screen. You got to make sure you have a feel for that. North Carolina really settling for threes. 1 for 7 from the three-point line.
Zam Jones, not the shot that Westmore was looking for there. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we will carry in its entirety the celebration of the cancer survivors here on this Play for K night at NC State. Lainey Grant fouled on the 3, almost rattled it in.
NC State with good team defense right here. Kaishi Lunin with a disruption and then a steal by Jones, and it leads to an easy 2 for Pierre. Nice pump fake. You don't want to foul Lainey Grant. You never want to foul the jump shooter.
She's the good free throw shooter at 82%.
Courtney Banghart getting some players in the game that don't get a lot of minutes typically, but I think it's because she's preparing for having her starters play heavy minutes in the second half.
Grant coming off a big game against Syracuse, an overtime win for the Tar Heels. She had 17, hit 5 threes. And now a chance for a 3rd free throw. Sophomore out of Midlothian, Virginia, enrolled early. She was so anxious and excited to be a Tar Heel, and has worked her way into the starting lineup in her sophomore campaign.
She's still the youngest player on this team. She reclassified and spent an extra semester before she could play.
Lunin back to Brooks. Gets into the lane. Good defense, and then the rebound for Grant. Laney on the run to Harris, and now Layla Hull will try and bangs that off the rim. 1 for 8 from deep. And they are without a bucket now, approaching 4 minutes.
this is going to be, I thought she was going to take her to the hole. She had her all off balance.
Get it inside. Cueros, no. Both sides have cooled off here in the second.
So NC State just slows their roll sometimes too much, you know, like no sense of urgency about anything that they're doing right now. And they have the lead.
Brooks off the cross, scoop is short. Pierre, second chance, won't go. Carolina the other way, weaving towards the rim. Arrows with the lay-in.
What a great job she did of turning Lunin, running right up the backside of somebody, making them shift, and then you get an edge with your shoulders and your hips past them in transition.
She is getting some quality minutes in this first half and catching them in. Lunin walked. Minute and a half to go. Among those we'll see out on the court, Maria Trieger, Tilda's aunt, getting ready for the walk. Sylvia Hatchell in the house, longtime friend, and of course ACC coaching legend of Kay Yow's. The cancer survivor celebration coming up at halftime. Of course, Sylvia herself, a cancer survivor.
Great friend of Kay's, longtime competitors, and Coach Al loved playing in this game more than any other game.
Grant with a triple.
Actually, Beth, the night the court was named Kay Yow Court was the night North Carolina came in here, #2 in the country, and Kay had 5 seniors, and I think NC State was up by 30 at the half. It was an emotional night like this one.
Final minute, good rally here for North Carolina. An 8-0 run to get right back in it. Sam Jones for 3.
Don't you love the emotion of the young ones? 2-possession game.
Arnisalo. And a turnover. So 18 seconds for NC State to work with. Grant, nice use of the screen there, and then Zam,
Such good
the
patience.
response.
Right? The ball screen is to create an advantage. And when you're open off that screen, you shoot it.
All right, they can hold for one. It's in the hands of Zoe Brooks.
3-2 zone by North Carolina.
And an issue with the clock.
Courtney Banghart likes to throw this 3-2 zone in situationally. And this stoppage allows her to get her best defender on the floor in the last possession.
Game clock is under review.
Stopped at 9 seconds. Yep, sticks at 9.6.
Good job by
Good
Brenda.
recognition by our officials. Joe Vasili, Paulina Spurlock, Brenda Ponteo. The officials, you'll note they're wearing the pink whistles. Every year on the Play for K night here, the officials make a very generous donation.
Almost $116,000 this year from the officials, unified in the fight.
The K
Great
Cancer
respect for
Fund.
Kay.
The game clock will be set to 8.1 seconds. 8.1.
So I don't know who gets the advantage here. Navarre does get into the game for Carolina, but they had NC State a bit confused with the switch to zone, and now Wes has a chance to get State ready for it. So do they go back to man-to-man? Looks like they will with 8.1 to go. Brooks. Cox. Off the mark. 34-30. NC State with the lead over North Carolina at the half on this Play for K night on KL Court here inside Reynolds Coliseum. Well, tonight we are witness to one of the most meaningful moments of the year. Basketball brings us together for so many good reasons, and none better than tonight's celebration of cancer survivors, many of whom got an assist from legendary coach Kay Yao and her foundation. Immortalized in bronze outside this historic arena for all the great moments on the court, which now bears her name. Kay Yao spent over 3 decades here, coaching, teaching, inspiring. Perhaps her greatest victory, a scouting report on how to fight against cancer, and a foundation dedicated to helping other women. Courage, hope, and a legacy that lives on.
Coach Al, when she was here on earth, was always giving, thinking about others. You know, even at her funeral, she had a great message, a video that she had recorded to try to share her faith and make an impact in that way, even after her passing. And I think the fight against cancer, the Kay Yao Foundation, all of that, we're really proud of that here at NC State. And then the impact she made in trailblazing for women's basketball. NC State was one of the first programs to really invest in women's basketball, and Coach Yao had NC State as one of the premier programs in the country.
NC State has pulled off the miraculous upset over the second-ranked North Carolina Tar Heels, and students in need are storming the floor.
And I think Coach Yao squeezed every bit of influence and impact she could on the game, but more importantly on the lives of the people around her.
Each and every one of you have supported me and cared for me in so many ways over so many years.
Coach Yao is still here. Coach Yao is still making an impact. When I walk on that court and it has Kay Yao Court, I know, that I'm in a special place, and it's special because of Kay Yao.
Play for Kay honors the warriors, survivors, and thrivers in the fight against cancer. As Coach Yao loved to say, we have little control over what happens to us, but 100% control over how we fight and respond. Now let's send you over to Debbie Antonelli.
Hello and welcome everyone to this incredible halftime celebration. My name is Debbie Antonelli and I will be serving as your MC during this incredible opportunity to party on, right? This is the 21st Play for K game. It started out as Hoops for Hope. Coach Yao actually coached in it. And Coach Yao was about building team. She was an incredible leader. She didn't just coach basketball, she coached people. And in coaching people and building a team, she built a team through her leadership, her ability to communicate, her ability to message, and to use basketball as her platform to help others. Now you are on her team, and you are on her team, and you are on her team, and all of you are on her team, and we need you, and you need to play a role. And in playing a role, you need to understand the way basketball works. See, basketball is a servant's game. You serve the game to make the game easier for your teammates. And you do that by running the floor hard, cutting hard, making the extra pass, doing all the things that good teammates do to make the game simpler. Well, you can make somebody's life easier by serving through the Kay Yao Cancer Fund, because that's what Coach Yao wanted this game and this moment to mean. And it has meant that for 21 years. If you thought that your service to this team could help someone get a mammogram, help them with a drug that they need, help them with a ride, help them with a meal, would you be willing to do it? Because if you are willing to do it, then you will be playing your role on this team. And this team is the one that really, really matters. Now, if you're not moved by my words, that's okay. I don't really think anybody listens to me anyway. All right? But what you're getting ready to see is going to move you beyond emotions that maybe you haven't felt in a long time. So let's get ready to share this incredible celebration with these incredible women that have played a role on their own teams and have survived and are winning. First, we're gonna start with years 0 to 2. Cancer survivors, come on out here, ladies. Let's get this party started. Jennifer Day, representing 1 year.
Hi! Woo! Is it on? Okay. Hi, it is great to be here tonight. We had to travel through a lot of snow to get here, and I'm so thankful to make it. On March 27th, I will be celebrating my first year cancer-free. As a nurse for almost 30 years, sometimes it was hard for me to be the patient. So I'd like to thank the nurses that took care of me through my surgeries, my chemo at the Rab Center, and radiation. Thank you guys, you are great. Thank you to my family and friends, and a big thank you goes to my husband, Ben, who is with me from breast cancer diagnosis to bell ringing. Thank you, honey. And
Way to go, Jennifer!
That Jimmy V said, don't give up, don't ever give up. Go Pack! Woo!
Way to go, Jennifer! From 3 to 5 years survivors. Representing 3 to 5 years is Eugenia Pearson, a 3-year cancer survivor.
My name is Eugenia Pearson. This is my second time surviving breast cancer. So ladies, get your mammograms, do your self-exams. I'd like to thank my husband, Tony Pearson, my children, my family, my church. Most of all, I thank God. And I'm just so thankful to be here to represent years 3 through 5 and go Pack!
Way to go, Eugenia! Representing 6 to 10-year cancer survivors. Ten-year cancer survivor, Denise Sharons.
Hi, I'm Denise Schrantz. I'm a 10-year cancer survivor. I'm very thankful for Dr. Mark Graham and his amazing team at Waverly Oncology and Cary for the care I received, for my husband, children, grandchildren, family, and friends who are there praying constantly for my success. And I just hope that my journey encourages others who are going through this at this point in time or who may face it later to know breast cancer is a bump in the road. You can travel it successfully, and always remember, life is not about waiting for the storm to pass, it's dancing in the rain. So get out there.
Let's go, Denise, let's go.
So get out there and dance. And remember, tonight's for you, Coach Yao. Go Pack!
We hear you, Denise, we hear you. Representing 11 to 15 years. This is our Wolfpack friend, Mary Gravely, celebrating 15 years. Way to go, Mary.
Thank you. My name is Mary Gravely. I was diagnosed with breast cancer 15 years ago. I'm here representing these wonderful group of folks here for the 11 to 15 survivors. Sorry.
Let's go, Mary. We got you, Mary.
A routine mammogram found my cancer. I'm here today because of early detection, research, and awareness, all the things that KYAL stood for. I want to thank my husband, first of all. I want to thank everyone here for being here and celebrating with us tonight. Go Pack.
We hear you, Mary. Early detection. Early detection saves lives. Celebrating 16 to 20-year cancer survivors. This group looks like a party right here. Representing 16 to 20 years is Amy Marshall, a 17-year cancer survivor.
It's been 18 years since I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I was a young mother with 3 young children. The youngest, Claire, was just 5 years old. I am here today as a result of my oncologist, Dr. Mark Graham, and his staff, all the research and advances in breast cancer treatment, and the love and support of my family, my husband, Michael, my sons, Tyler, Thomas, and my daughter, Claire. It takes a team to fight breast cancer, and I am grateful for all the people who donate to the KYAL Cancer Fund to make research possible so that one day soon there will be a cure for breast cancer. I am honored today to stand on KYAL court with all these strong women, those who have fought the fight and those who continue to fight. Go Pack.
Thank you, Amy, and thank you for the shout out to Dr. Graham, who was also Coach Yow's doctor. 21 to 25 years. Donna Kieran, a 23-year cancer survivor.
Hi, my name is Donna Kieran. I'm very happy to be here tonight. I first heard those 3 little words, "You have cancer." And like many of us in this room, my thoughts went immediately to my children, who were teenagers at the time. And I wondered, would I be there to see their milestones? Well, thanks to early detection, thanks to Mark Graham, who several people have mentioned already, and the wonderful care I got from my team, not only did I see their graduations, their weddings, I remarried, I had a full career, and I've explored this wonderful land of ours for the last 8 years in retirement. And I'm about to make another milestone trip, and that is to see the graduation of our 2 oldest grandsons from high school. I have been blessed to have 8 beautiful grandchildren, which in 2003, I never would have thought that was possible. To those of you who are early in this journey, I wish you hope and strength. And to those of you who are out there wondering whether you should have a mammogram, just do it. It can be life-saving. Thank you all so much, and go Pack!
Thank you, Donna. Get your mammogram. Absolutely. And finally, representing 25 plus years as cancer survivors and thrivers, and here to share her inspirational story, Kathy Matishka, a 35-year cancer survivor.
Well, hey, could not be happier right now. Every day is a gift. Everyone on this court understands that. Early detection is where it's at. My dentist found a tiny sore, and the rest is history. I have a wacky mouth, but here I am. There are ladies behind me with more survivorship than I. I honor them, I respect you, I love you. Thank you to my family, my brother, the graduate, who put this whole thing up. all the people around the country from my triathlon and dog agility crowd are watching on ESPN and so excited. Thank you, State. Don't give up, people. Vet checked. Don't ever give up. Go Pack!
Thank you, Kathy. And thank you to everyone, those of you at home particularly as well, and all you ladies who are providing an incredible amount of inspiration, motivation, and incredible fight. Please, please keep fighting, because we're here with you. The KL Cancer Fund is here for you, and we're going to be right there on your team every step of the way. Visit thekl.com to be able to make a difference. You can help in the fight versus cancer. You can help maybe one of these ladies or somebody in their family or someone in yours. Thank you all very much. Thank you for our 21st celebration, and we will see you on KL Court next year.
You're watching Big Monday on ESPN. The 21st annual Play for K game at NC State. Wolfpack leading the Tar Heels at the half by 4. Welcome back to the 2026 Play for K, benefiting the K Out Cancer Fund in partnership with the WBCA and the V Foundation. Start of the second half, NC State and North Carolina. The Tar Heels looking for their first quad one win of the season. NC State fighting to stay in the top 4 right now in the ACC standings. As we move into February, 7 or 8 games left on the schedule, that's it. And India Navarre takes it inside. Bucket for Carolina. Your numbers from that first half: India had 8, Camille Pierre near a double-double in the first half for State. Peyton Samuels in and out. Same starting 5s out there for both sides to open up this third quarter. Mariah Kelly, the runner won't go. Long rebound to Samuels. Errant pass. And I think we got a help ball. Possession arrow will stay with State.
So the cadence of the game has been this pace. It has been very much execution, quarter court, not very many transition opportunities, neither team turning the ball over, allowing for any easy buckets in a live situation. You're gonna have to execute through 4 quarters of this one. And this one right now has all the makings of going to the last possession.
Courtney Bangert in her 7th season with the Tar Heels. Of course, they're showing their support as well on this Play for K game. On the inbound, Brooks can't get it to drop, and there's Grant with a rebound.
And Courtney Banghart likes to play with 2 point guards on the floor. Lainey Grant, 100% capable of initiating their offense on the top of the floor.
That moves Mariah Kelly to the off spot. Here she comes. Had a hot hand coming in, just 1 for 6 so far. Let's see if she can turn things around second half. Meanwhile, it's Nyla Harris missing the layup.
North Carolina as a team typically finishes at the rim. They're about 60% at the rim as a team.
Zam Jones. And here's Kelly the other way. Grant. Navarre off the bounce for the lay-in, and that'll tie it up for the Tar Heels.
Quick strike in transition. NC State's got to sprint back and defend the basketball.
They've come all the way back from a 9-point deficit. Trieger, mid-range. And NC State starts out the half 0 for 4. Carolina looking for its first lead since midway through the first quarter. Grant uses the screen. Had a clean look, couldn't hit it. They're now 2 for 10 from deep.
These are times in the game where Wes Moore essentially becomes the point guard for NC State. He will call every set when the game slows down to this cadence.
Brooks. Out the other side. Zam Jones for 3. No. It's going to stay with NC State.
Good ball movement by NC State. They switch sides. They get a baseline penetration. They go one more. And Zam Jones wide open. That's the most wide open she's been all game.
Almost picked off. Zam, and now they are 0 for 6 to start this third quarter. Opportunity knocking for North Carolina. Navarre had it poked out. Brooks. And a foul.
Good D by Zam Jones with the pick. And Zoe Brooks for NC State might have one of the better stop-and-go games in women's basketball. She can change direction. She can change pace. Such a great handle does Zoe Brooks have.
So Zoe to the line, an 84% free throw shooter. We mentioned North Carolina, and that's Joanna Luca-White, one of their assistant coaches. They're wearing the T-shirt to support her in her fight against breast cancer, and you see the DG little circle there inside the ribbon for the late Dana Galin, a longtime sports information director for their women's basketball team.
Joanne's in the fight with her family. Her daughter Gabby is a freshman point guard at the University of Virginia for Coach Mox. And we're with you, Joanne, in the fight. And she was pretty emotional before the game when I spoke to her. She understands what this game means off the floor as much as it does on the court.
The ACC family is there. Grant on the inbound gets a clean look and knocks it down.
Tell you what, Lainey Grant is probably 18 years old and plays like a veteran.
Brooks drops it off for Trieger, and they finally get off the schneid with their first basket.
And there's Zoe Brooks changing the rhythm of the game, very quickly attacking.
Navarre, the pass over the top, and a travel.
Again, Zam Jones playing some D. Watch this drop off right here. Draw 2 and drop it off to the big 6'6" at the rim.
Body on the deck and a whistle and a foul.
That's 3 consecutive winning plays that Zam Jones has made. The steal, the forcing the travel, and then right there drawing a foul.
Second on Harris. Brooks, and she walked with it. Good defense by Navarre. Likely all defensive team member again this year in the ACC.
If we didn't have this player in the ACC named Hannah Hidalgo at Notre Dame, India Navarre might have a chance to be the defensive player of the year. Notre Dame, of course, Hannah Hidalgo coming off a 37-point game last night.
Mid-range is good for Harris.
North Carolina does not shoot a lot of mid-ranges, but that's Harris's game. She is not a three-point threat.
Midway through this third quarter, the first game of our doubleheader tonight. South Carolina and Texas A&M to follow us. And then another doubleheader coming your way on Thursday night this week. Pierre, it's up on the turnaround. Trieger all alone underneath, blocked from behind. You got to go right back up with that. Gave time for Toomey to get there. Navarre off the dribble. With the left hand, gets the land.
You got to understand the scout with India Navarre. You got to play her as a driver.
Trieger tried to muscle that up and in. Navarre thought about the three. Toomey taking it inside.
I think Courtney Banghart told her team, we took a lot of bad threes in the first half. We're going to drive it here in the second, because that's what it looks like to me.
Foul there on Grant.
The D of North Carolina allows them some transition the other way. Toomey with a big block, and then Navarre with the finish at the rim.
How about the Atlantic Coast Conference? The storylines this season with 5 ranked teams in the preseason. High expectations, but then trouble in the non-conference. Just 4-27 against the top 25. So they're trying to rally now in conference play. 3 ranked teams, including North Carolina, just jumping in at 25 this week. 9 teams projected in the tournament. And boy, is the bubble watch going to be something for ACC fans, because these 5 teams are all in the mixer right now. Might get in, might not get in, according to Charlie Cream's bracketology. We'll have another update for us on the website tomorrow. But there you see Virginia Tech and Clemson amongst the last ones to get in. Virginia, Miami, and Cal will try and play their way in over the last 8 games of the season and the ACC tournament.
Well, North Carolina, NC State both playing for that double bye in the ACC tournament, which matters as well.
A top 4 seed has won the ACC tournament 39 years in a row. And Lainey Grant knocking down another tray, her 3rd of the game. An 11-4 run for the Tar Heels here in the 3rd quarter.
NC State has scored 4 points in the 3rd quarter. They are 1 for 11 this half.
Trieger. Good position, goes to the left hand.
I mean, go to that, Trieger. The counter inside for the 6-6. I try to get Grant another shot right here.
Navarre between a couple of defenders.
See, that's where Camille Pierre can be in the gap and anticipate the spin.
Zam Jones alone. Samuels unable to clean it up. And it is Tar Heel basketball.
I mean, Lainey Grant right now just pulling the trigger here. You have to come with a longer closeout. You can't let her dribble into a 3. And Trieger with the counter and a step through. High off the glass with the left.
Lainey now with 8 triples in her last 2 games. Here she is. Navarre will try from deep. Pierre snags rebound number 12.
I mean, can rebound out of her area. So athletic on the glass. Pierre has scored a couple of times in that matchup with Harris.
Tough shot, gets the roll.
Does she do anything but make tough shots? I mean, Zoe Brooks never gets a clean look. But it's the shiftiness in her game off the bounce that allows her to make those shots in the paint with direct press and some contact.
She's got 8.
Zoe Brooks going to get a chance on Lainey Grant.
Grant drawing another foul off the dribble. Boy, has she added this element to her game.
Zoe Brooks, watch the shiftiness right here. She's so good at creatively changing in the air. So physical at the top of her shot. You really can't knock her off her line.
Hey, coming up at 9 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app, Darren Peterson and the Kansas Jayhawks taking on Texas Tech. 9 o'clock on ESPN. Don't forget, coming up next right here, more women's hoops for you. With South Carolina and Texas A&M, the second game of the doubleheader, and the officials want to take a look here at an official review.
The game clock is under review.
And we'll take the break with them. 1:15 to go in the third. So an official review underway. We had a clock stoppage at the 1:46 mark on your clock, and it was stopped for quite a while. So the officials are figuring out how much time ran off the clock, and I think they've got it figured out. They're talking with Debbie right now. We'll get the results. Debbie, what you got?
13
oh, wait, here's
seconds.
Joe.
The game
We'll let
clock
Joe
will be
tell us.
reset to 1:02. North Carolina will shoot one more free throw.
Okay,
So they had to
there you
take the stopwatch out and count it down. They came up with 13 seconds needed to come off the shot clock, or off the game clock.
So another free throw coming with Grant and Navarre taking over in this second half. They've scored 25 of the last 31 points for Carolina. And they have combined, if Grant hits this free throw, they'll be combined for 30 on the night.
NC State's got to do a better job defending those two. I think they need to throw it into Camille Pierre. She's had sort of had her way against the Harris matchup inside, which we anticipated with her quickness.
NC State just 3 of 15 in this third quarter, and they ended on a higher note. Final minute. Zone. Zam to try and shoot over it. Nope. Grant Toomey running the floor.
NC State needs to provide a little more resistance on defense.
Grant. Samuel's able to close out the first time, but not the second. Laney Grant with her fourth. And I think they're going to call that a 2. And they got to shoot. Third quarter owned by North Carolina. And Laney Grant leading the way.
Two-point field goal by North Carolina with 10 seconds is under.
How about tonight's game-changing pursuit brought to you by E-Trade?
India Navarre and Laney Grant, they have been so good off the bounce, setting up their shots, getting to their spots, and North Carolina has played the hot hand. Navarre off the bounce, Grant from behind the three-point line. Laney Grant shooting to her, arm falls off, especially here in the second half.
And it was called a 2 on the floor, and upon review, it will stay a 2. They say the toes were on the line. That last shot by Grant. So a 48-42 Carolina lead into the fourth quarter, looking for their first quad 1 win of the season.
It looks to me like a little face guard here by Zam Jones, which means she's in a no-help situation on Grant.
Navarre with a nice feed inside to Harris.
North Carolina looks like they're showing zone this possession.
Biggest lead of the game for the Tar Heels. And they had NC State in a little disarray in that third quarter offensively. Pierre gets a look and it's rejected.
Sierra Toomey, big play at the rim. Gets off the help right there, gets off the contact to make this play. NC State's gonna have to pick up their body language and their energy just a little bit here. North Carolina is playing with great cadence.
Pierre and Toomey again got a piece of it. 2.8 on the shot clock.
Back-to-back plays by Sierra Toomey.
3 blocks now for the Tar Heels, and NC State's got to work quick. Lunin launches. Good effort by Carolina. Navarre to the rim, attacking again, and rolling it up and in off glass. Timeout, NC State.
One of the things Wes Moore said to us today at shoot-around was, we better play some defense against the Heels, particularly in the fourth quarter, because look at this. Cross it over and get it to the cup. Navarre with a 10-point lead for the Heels. North Carolina has built a 10-point lead behind the backcourt play of Lainey Grant and India Navarre. Nyla Harris making herself available at the rim. Navarre in transition. NC State scored 8 points in the third quarter on 3 of 17 shooting. They're gonna have to pick it up right now and show some sort of sense of urgency, change their body language, and try to get this game sped up a little bit, because North Carolina has control of the tempo.
22-8 Tar Heels in the second half. And they've opened up a double-digit lead, their biggest of the night. Pierre around and out, and a one-and-done trip. Outstanding night so far for India Navarre and Lainey Grant right here with the ball. They are both a basket shy of career highs. Going for it. Off the mark, good closeout by Zam Jones there.
Got to play up tempo right now. Got to get up the floor in transition for NC State. They play better with a little bit of tempo.
Lunin, no. Pierre fights for that rebound and then attacks the rim.
Camille Pierre needs to take over for NC State. She needs to demand the ball. She needs to take advantage of her matchup, but they got to throw it in there to her.
Taken away, Zoe Brooks. Working on Grant, steps through short. Big missed opportunity there for State, as Lainey Grant held her ground. Lanaya Kelly will initiate.
NC State looks like they're in the zone.
Grant off the bounce again. That'll head the other way. Here's our ESPN NBA Wednesday doubleheader for you. The Nuggets at the Knicks at 7 Eastern, and then the Thunder and Spurs. NBA Countdown gets it going at 6:30. That's the Wednesday night doubleheader. Under 7 to go. Nice feed, Pierre from Zam.
Nice pass. Good roll to the bucket. attacking through the middle third of that 3-2 zone.
Kelly for three, got it! She had hit just one of her 7 shots prior and nails a big one there.
NC State goes horns against the 3-2. Got to screen the top.
Sam, the drive, they kick it back out, and now Pierre will go to work.
That's who I'm playing through. Camille Pierre. Get her a touch every time down.
14 points, 14 rebounds. Kelly will try again. NC State's got it. Wes Moore hammered home with his club at shoot-around today. We got to win a 4th quarter. 5 of their 6 losses, they have lost the 4th quarter in games. We'll get another look here. Zoe Brooks, way off. And a reach-in foul on Pierre.
Zoe Brooks coming off last 2 games where she's averaged 32. This is a tremendous delivery to Pierre, who is starting to come alive right here. I think Camille Pierre gives you a little rope-a-dope, you know? Rope-a-dope looks like she's going to rock you to sleep, and then she is explosive with the ball in her hands.
She's got the last 6 points for NC State.
And North Carolina needs to keep moving the ball, keep attacking, attack the zone, get the ball to the inside, and play from inside out.
Have not won here since 2019. Courtney Bangart looking for her first win at Reynolds Coliseum. Navarre gets her own miss, and then Brooks gets the steal. Brooks, again way off. NC State has had chances here early in the 4th quarter, not knocking them down.
Well, the zone has helped them get a few stops. Their offense has been the issue on the other end. Pierre has been effective.
Kelly, 3, hits it for Carolina.
Renaya Kelly has come on late. In the last 4 games, she's averaged 14 points.
Couple of big buckets for her in this 4th quarter. And the Tar Heels have bumped it back up to 10. .413 to play. It's been all Carolina in this 2nd half.
North Carolina was 2 for 9 in the 1st half from 3. They started the third quarter attacking the rim. They are shooting 50% from the 3-point line in the 2nd half. And it's Grant and it's Kelly, the 2 3-point threats that you have to make, put the ball on the floor and chase them off the 3-point line, who have caught the basketball in rhythm.
4 minutes away from their first Quad 1 win. And a big road win against an arch rival. Lunan, 15-footer hits.
Good ball movement that time. Still a 3-possession game. NC State needs 3 stops, 3 scores. And for North Carolina, I'd keep calling Renaya Kelly's number right now. She hit the last 2 threes.
Number 10 in blue. No Lainey Grant on the floor right now. Brooks spins into a double, and they turn it over. And then a big swipe inside by Harris. Tried to force it into Pierre. minutes to go. Kelly off the cross and a foul. They have gone to one of their veterans. And she's delivered here in the fourth.
One of the things that Courtney Banghart says about Renaya Kelly, she is durable, she is accountable, and we rely on her in late games. And she's delivered here in the fourth quarter.
Last 5 games, she has doubled her scoring. But again, this is a poor free throw shooting team. A reminder that Carolina will be a part of the ACC Network doubleheader on Thursday. Hosting Clemson. Gets the second free throw to go. Big week for the Tar Heels. They'd love to start it with a big road win. Scoop shot is good for Jones.
Full court pressure by NC State. Got to speed the game up here. Can't let North Carolina dribble down the clock.
Kelly back to Grant. Harris 15-footer. And Pierre's got her 15th rebound of the night. Lunan spins and scores! Wow!
2 possessions.
Under 2 to go. Kelly had it knocked loose. Harris is there. Navarre to beat the shot clock. And she gets the rebound.
What a play by the senior.
The upperclassman with a huge fourth quarter for Carolina. Kelly stripped loose. Lunan leaves it off for Samuel. 3 is good. Final minute, 2-point game. And a turnover. And Pierre loses it right back. What a play by Harris. And a foul. Harris caught Pierre from behind and knocked it away.
Kai-Shi Lunan, look at this move. My goodness. Wow. Samuels, the triple to make it a 2-point game.
And an NC State had possession, and Nyla Harris, terrific hustle to knock it loose, and then a foul on NC State.
So NC State has 2 fouls to give, and North Carolina does not have any team fouls in the fourth quarter. The Wolfpack with 2 timeouts remaining. North Carolina has 3.
Possession arrow is with State. So this is what's at stake here for North Carolina. Trying to get that Q1 on the resume. Charlie Cream says they're both on that host bubble around a 6 seed. Right now, it's likely that 2 ACC teams would be hosting, Louisville and Duke. Probably going to be a third emerging here in the month of February.
Well, these are 2 likely candidates.
Who might it be?
Let's see. North Carolina is not a good free throw shooting team, so keep that in mind.
Kelly initiates. And there's a blocking foul called on Lunan.
That's a foul to give.
One more to give.
9 on the shot clock.
So now just 2-second difference shot and game clock. Navarre is the worst free throw shooter, and that's why Courtney Banghart has her inbounding. And Nyla Harris is a 75% free throw shooter. It will be her first trip to the line.
That conversation with Wes Moore today about all the close games, close finishes, and decisions that he has made. He just decided to put Harris on the free throw line right here. I think it's a good one. You can't
that one for a 3-point lead. Big free throws for Harris. Timeout NC State to advance. They will have one left.
I think you get a quick 2 here. I think you foul and you try to extend the game. Lainey Grant is a tremendous free throw shooter. So is Renaya Kelly. Toomey's not in the game. But Navarre or Harris are the two with the lower percentages, and Harris just made 2. I think you throw a direct pass if you can. Now North Carolina has fouls to give. Let's see if Courtney Banghart will decide to foul the clock away, because they can commit 4 before NC State would shoot. And if you're going to commit a foul, you got to commit it on the dribble down.
Yeah.
The other thing for NC State, and you know I say this every time we're in this situation, try to inbound the basketball below the free throw line, because you know they're going to foul. Then you get to inbound it on the baseline. Now you got a scoring opportunity. It's harder to foul when you're inbounding under the basket than it is to foul when you're on the sideline. I used to go over this with Muffet McGraw.
Sam Jones will be the inbounder. Brooks way out top, and there is a foul. That took about 2 seconds.
You're going to keep inbounding the ball here, and they're going to keep fouling. Throw it below the free throw line in the scoring area.
Otherwise, you can rip off about 8 to 10 seconds here, just by continuing to foul. So now everybody comes above the free throw line for NC State. Pierre, knocked loose. Pierre to Trieger for the layup. Timeout Carolina. And I believe they will advance with a 2-point lead and 12 seconds to go.
Now this gives Wes Moore a chance to put his best defensive lineup on the floor, and Courtney Banghart a chance to get her best offense or her best free throw shooters.
Boy, that was a terrific find by
great
Pierre.
scramble.
Scoops it over to Trieger for the cut. And Carolina will advance.
NC State, I would try to quick steal, if not tie them up, but definitely got to commit the foul. You can't let them dribble out the clock here. If you can get a steal or a deflection, I might put Trieger on the inbound.
There's your ACC standings. NC State trying to hold on to 3rd place. Carolina trying to break into that group and start flirting with the top 4 spot.
I don't believe they'll throw it into the backcourt with a wide open player back there, but you got it. If she's that wide open, I might throw it to her.
They're going to take her right out of it and quickly get it into Kelly. And that's a held ball.
What a play by.
A held ball and NC State ball with 10.6 to go.
That's what I'm talking about. You go for the jump, the steal, tie him up, and then you foul. What a trap right here.
That's Zoe Brooks. So now more decisions to make here for Wes Moore, who are you looking to? And for Courtney Banghart, do you try and burn some more fouls and work some more clock?
She's got to burn some fouls here. Again, I'm saying the same thing over. Throw it in the scoring area to score. Try to get something going to the basket right here. If you're North Carolina, you don't want to give up a three, and you really don't want to foul. You want to, well, you are going to foul. I think they are going to foul because they've only had one team foul.
Right?
You're going to foul to try to use up clock. Then, if you get the basketball, you call timeout so you can advance it.
3 turnovers in their last 4 possessions, giving NC State a chance. To see if they can find a little KO magic on KO court on this play for K-Night.
North Carolina looks like they're going to be in their man-to-man.
Wolfpack basketball.
Down 2 to inbound here. NC State with 10 seconds to go. Zam Jones has it, and there's a reach-in foul. 2 more to give.
Foul number 26. Tisa Quiero has her first foul, second team foul for UNC.
This time Zam will inbound. Samuels back to Jones, 3 on the way, no. And Navarre's got it, and a foul. 1.6 to go for the Tar Heels with a 2-point lead. And free throws coming. NC State had a look. Zam Jones a bit hard. And Navarre to the line.
And you still have an opportunity here. Remember, Navarre's a 54% free throw shooter, but you have to be ready to rebound. And then NC State's got to call timeout to advance the ball.
Navarre's 1 for 2 tonight.
You better be ready to rebound.
Short, and Navarre able to track it down, and North Carolina hangs on to win it, 61-59.
What a hustle play by India Navarre. 4 players in white jerseys standing on the free throw line, and Navarre comes up with the offensive rebound.
The field goal is under review.
What a job by Courtney Banghart to come in here with this crowd, with this emotion. Just back into the polls at number 25. I mean, watch NC State. You got to be ready to rebound. You know she's a 54% free throw shooter.
Carolina had 3 offensive rebounds the entire game before this one, and that iced it. They won't count that last basket, so it's a 61-59 final and a W indeed. Courtney Banghart's first here at Reynolds. And a big second half for Carolina, and they hang on late. And they have their first quad 1 win of the season, and they beat NC State. More basketball coming your way.